Senator Bernie Sanders is fighting back against the side deal between Manchin and Schumer to create more pipelines, specific pipeline projects that would benefit Joe Manchin. So now, here's what he said on Twitter. I will not vote for any bill that makes it easier for big oil to destroy the planet, and that includes improving the Mountain Valley Pipeline. And he also pointed at the continuing resolution, which is, of course, a short-term bill to fund the government. He said, look, if you're going to put that into the continuing resolution, then guess what? I'm going to vote against the continuing resolution. He said, quote, it must not be held hostage by big oil. Now, the measure that is being considered by Schumer to be put into the continuing resolution includes approval to speed up the Mountain Valley Pipeline in Senator Joe Manchin's home state of West Virginia. So now Sanders, of course, went to the Senate floor and talked about this, which, look, this deal is a terrible deal. But here's how they did it. First, you had Democratic leaders and Biden agreeing to pass this in order to get Joe Manchin on board for passing the Inflation Reduction Act. So now winning Manchin's support, according to Insider, was crucial for the party to advance the slimmed-down version of Biden's economic agenda. The inclusion of permitting changes, however, reflects a disastrous side deal between Manchin and Democratic leadership, Sanders says, adding that these reforms are in opposition with the energy policy that the U.S. should be pursuing. At a time when climate change is threatening the very existence of our planet, why would anyone be talking about substantially increasing carbon emissions and fossil fuel production? He also warned a revolt among House Democrats, saying at least 59 Democratic lawmakers would release a letter stating their opposition to the deal. However, of course, Manchin defended his position, saying that the Inflation Reduction Act included funding for several different kinds of clean energy projects, and then said, if I thought that it was damaging for climate, I would have never done it. We're talking about solar farms, wind farms, but we have to have the fossil horsepower that we need right now. Well, I mean, you could just stop exporting oil to other countries. I mean, the United States is the top oil exporter in the world. Hey, if you need, energy, well, we've got all the energy we need right here. Why are we sending it out to the rest of the world? You don't need more pipelines or more drilling. Just use the stuff that we're already sending out to the rest of the world. While we set up those solar farms, etc., the wind farms. But here's the thing, okay? Joe Manchin, not surprising, he's lying to us. Look, this side deal, again, is put in an unrelated bill and would actually release greenhouse gas emissions equivalent to 26 different coal plants or 19 million new cars on the road. And it also negates any of the good stuff that was in the IRA. Any of the investments and stuff. And by the way, a lot of the stuff in the Inflation Reduction Act also relies on the carbon capture technology, which again is not, it's been very, very oversold. Corporations absolutely love this little offset because it doesn't actually really do a whole lot for the climate. Now, according to reports from The Lever, there is a reason, of course, that Manchin and Schumer came to this little side deal. And it wasn't exactly for the benefit of the IRA, it's for the benefit of their donors. The pipeline deal was originally negotiated by Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, Senator Joe Manchin, who are respectively Congress's top recipients of fossil fuel and utilities industry campaign cash. One utility and pipeline company that could benefit from the deal has actually funded more than $400,000 to Democrats' Senate and House campaign committees. Another one, Next Era, whose executives are also among Manchin's major donors, happen to be Schumer's second largest campaign donors as well. Oh, weird. It's a very strange coincidence there. That company has given more than $200,000 to both the Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee and the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee. In all, Schumer is Congress's top recipient of donations from electric utilities, and one of Schumer's former aides has also been lobbying for utility companies on pipeline and permitting issues. Oh, weird. It's almost, again, if they're just using this side deal as a massive corporate giveaway to their top donors. This deal should not be allowed. Now, Bernie Sanders is doing the right thing and standing against it. And look, I know corporate media is going to complain endlessly, right? Oh, how dare you? How dare Bernie Sanders? You would threaten to not fund the government over this? How dare you, Bernie Sanders? Sabotage this deal. Did the corporate media go after Joe Manchin for sabotaging Build Back Better? Again, that's literally what he did. No, Bernie Sanders is doing the right thing because right now, look, climate change is an existential threat. We know this. We should be doing energy policy that does not include new pipelines and new deals, new fossil fuel drilling, new coal mining. More than 650 groups have warned that this pipeline bill will be a climate bomb, an environmental disaster. And yet, here we have Schumer and Manchin doing a bribe. Basically. Or I should say, paying back the bribes that they have already received through this policy. No, what progressives should do, and this is a message to progressives in the House and in the Senate, is to do what Joe Manchin did to Build Back Better. Oh, you made a deal with us? Oh, you believed us? Well, Joe Manchin, you're a sucker because we're not going to do your horrible side deal. That has nothing to do with the continuing resolution to fund the government. It's just a bribe, a dirty, dirty bribe to your and a gift to your, corporate donors. That's all it is. And we don't have to support it because we never signed on for it. We never signed on to support it. Look, here's the thing. They only need 5 House Democrats to shut it down. That's, of course, assuming Republicans won't, vote for the deal. They won't vote for the CR. I would say that's a pretty fair assumption. I guess maybe Nancy Pelosi could go and talk to her Republican friends and say, oh, you need to support this continuing resolution so that, Joe Manchin and Chuck Schumer can get their oil and gas goodies. Now, again, we only need 5 Democrats. That's it. Now, sadly, there's only been one that has signed on so far. Bernie Sanders in the Senate, of course, but you need 5 House Democrats to shut it down in the House. We only have one, and that's Ro Khanna. Now, Ro Khanna said, hey, I'm not going to sign on to this deal. I'm not going to sign on to a continuing resolution if this deal is stuck in it. Not going to do it. And so all credit to Ro Khanna on this one, and hopefully he stands by his word and does vote against it. But for all the other Democrats here, progressives in the House, where are you? AOC, where are you? Rashida Tlaib, where are you? Ilhan Omar, where are you? Other progressives, Progressive Caucus, where are you? Now, hopefully, you will sign on with Ro Khanna. Hopefully, you'll be like, yes, you know what? I'm going to join in, and I'm going to stop Manchin's dirty side deal. We're not interested in this, and Bernie Sanders is right. Now, I'm hoping they will come out and make statements, but so far, we haven't heard anything. And so, look, there is time. Do the right thing. Shut down the side deal. Make sure they strip it out of the continuing resolution so they don't get their dirty little bribes. Do the right thing, progressives. Fight. That's all we ask you to do.